Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going over how to factor quadratic trinomials with part 3 with factoring the greatest common factor first. So in part 1 we learned how to factor regular quadratic trinomials. In part 2 we learned how to do it when the value of c is negative, and so this is going to be part 3. So please make sure to watch my first 2 videos before watching this one. So remember, these were the steps for factoring quadratic trinomials, but for today, there's going to be a coefficient in front of x squared, okay? We call that a. So what we have to do today is we have to factor out that a out of each term. This is going to be the new step here, and then these are the regular 4 steps for factoring quadratic trinomials, okay? So let's get right to an example 1 right here. With the 5 steps on the left-hand side here, we're going to factor this trinomial 3x squared plus 30x plus 72. So notice that there's a coefficient of x squared that's not 1, it's 3 in this case. So that's going to be the new thing today. So first thing is we have to factor out a, which is the coefficient of x squared, out of each term. So in this case, a is 3. So we're going to write a 3 right here, and then we're going to divide each of the coefficients by 3, okay? So 3 divided by 3 is 1, 30 divided by 3 is 10, and 72 divided by 3 is 24, okay? And notice that when you distribute the 3, you get the original trinomial, so we factored it correctly, okay? That's part 1. You have to factor out that coefficient first. Then we're going to list out the factor pairs of c, and the value of c is not going to be 72, okay? It went down to 24 because we factored out a 3 from 72. So we have to list out the factor pairs of 24, of positive 24. So those numbers are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, 5 does not go into 24, and then we're back to 6. So then we have to determine which factor pair adds up to b, which is the middle term, the middle coefficient. And here the middle coefficient is 10. Okay, so which one of these pairs adds up to 10? It's going to be 4 and 6. Okay, so once we figure out which factor pair adds up to the middle term, we have to use those numbers to write the trinomial as 2 binomials. Okay, so we bring down the 3, okay? That doesn't go away. You just continue to bring down the 3. And then you write the trinomial as x plus 4 times x plus 6, okay? Then we're going to multiply those binomials out to verify your answer. So at this step, what I would recommend doing is to bring down the 3 and distribute the x, okay? So we distribute the x just like we do in the previous videos. So x times x is x squared, x times 6 is 6x, okay, is what we have right there. And then what we do is we distribute the 4 as well. So 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 6 is 24, okay? And then after we distribute the x and the 4, we can combine the like terms inside of the parentheses, and notice that we get actually what's on the second line, which is good because that's what we need. And we do that by combining like terms. 6x plus 4x gives you 10x. And so after we do that, we distribute the 3 to all the terms and we get the original trinomial, okay? So that's how you multiply it out when there is a common factor out here. So sort of multiply that common factor at the last step after you finish multiplying the binomials together, okay? So our solution actually is going to be this, 3 times x plus 4 times x plus 6. That's what the original trinomial factors into. And all this right here was just the work to check to make sure that you factored it correctly. But the solution is going to be this, 3 times x plus 4 times x plus 6. So that's how to factor quadratic trinomials using the greatest common factor.